Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to learn how to set up self-hosted Linux agent in Azure DevOps. So Microsoft provides two kind of agents. So one is called Microsoft hosted agent, which is available from Microsoft itself. So whenever you perform build in Azure build pipeline, those options will be available for you. So all these are all these agents are VM running in Azure cloud. So you can use any kind of VM. It could be Ubuntu, it could be macOS, it could be Windows. So you can use all kind of agents. So they're all provided by Microsoft. So you don't even have to worry about managing any operating system patches or security patches. You don't even have to worry about that. Everything is provided by Microsoft. Then there are other set of agent called self-hosted agent. So which is nothing but you can create a VM. You can set up a VM on your local machine, and then you can consider or you can configure that as a build agent, or you can also set up a VM in Azure cloud. You can also configure that as a build agent. So what is the advantage? So you have more control over the VM, right? So you can manage all the updates and whatnot. Okay. So depending on the use case, either you can go for a Microsoft hosted agent or you can go for self-hosted agent. Okay. But this particular video, we are going to talk about how to set up self-hosted agent. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to provision a VM in Azure cloud, and then we are going to configure agent on that machine. Okay, and then our Azure DevOps pipeline will use that agent to perform either build or deployment. Okay, so that's exactly what we are going to do in this video. Awesome. So let's quickly go over the prerequisites. Yes, we need to have Microsoft account set up because we are going to create a VM in Azure cloud. So you also need to have Azure account and subscription set up. So I'm already logged in here, and then this is my Azure DevOps dashboard, and then this is my Azure portal. So we are going to create a VM, and then we also need to create personal access token as well in Azure DevOps. So we will cover everything one by one. Okay. So how do you configure self-hosted build agent, right, in Azure DevOps? It's very simple. So go to your project dashboard. So let me click on a project dashboard. Okay, so this is my organization, this is a project. So go under project settings, and then if you go to agent pools, so as you can see here, so these are all various pools available, right? So Azure pipelines and then default, these two are they always comes out of the box. So Azure pipelines are nothing but, so these are all agent available from Microsoft, right? Microsoft hosted agent. And then if you look at under default, so this is where you can configure your custom agents. Okay, self-hosted agents. Okay, you can also create agent pool as well, and then you can configure agent wherever you wanted to. Okay, so we wanted to create a self-hosted agent. So I already have a couple of pools, but let me create a new pool, right? So go to add pool. So we are going to say self-hosted, and let's give some name. So I can say my Ubuntu. I'm going to say my Ubuntu agent pool. Okay, agents pool, and then you might want to give access to all pipelines. Okay, so I'm going to create a new agent pool, and this is the name, and we are making as a pool type of self-hosted. Create. There you go. You see here. So now we have created agent pool, and then we have to go to agents and click on new agent. So this is where you can configure your self-hosted agent. So as I said, you can set up any kind of agent. It could be Windows, it could be Mac OS, it could be Linux, or you can also configure agent on your local machine. You can also configure agent like a VM running on any cloud as well. You can also do that. But what we are actually going to do, we are going to set up a Linux agent. So we need to follow the instruction over here. Okay, so all you have to do is create this folder and then download the installable and then extract, and then you can execute this particular shell script in order to run the agent. Okay, so that's exactly what we are going to do. I have provided all the steps documented here. So we already created an agent pool. Now we have to go ahead and then configure a VM and then set up agent inside that VM. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and provision a a Linux VM in Azure Cloud. Okay, so what I'm going to do, let's log in into Azure portal. So click on virtual machines. So let's create a new virtual machine. So I am under pay as you go. So let's create a resource group. I'm going to call this as my dev resource group. Let's give some name. I'm going to say my build agent. And region. So let's select. Okay, so I'm going to go with the default option. So let's go with the Ubuntu. This is totally fine. 64, that's fine. The size of the VM, let's go with 1 CPU. Yeah, this is fine. 1 CPU with the 2 gig, that should be good enough. And then we need to have SSH keys. So I'm going to say okay. So we need to have SSH keys. So this is a key name and this is a username. Perfect. And then we don't have to open any additional port number. 22 is fine. So let's click on review and create. Create. Let me download the SSH keys. So this will take few seconds to come up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up my item so that we can connect to the VM and then perform the agent setup. So now let's SSH into the VM. And I'm going to copy this link. Perfect. So now we have connected to our VM. Now we can go ahead and then configure our VM. Okay. So I'm going to first go ahead and then create this folder. Okay. So we created this folder called my agent and then I'm inside the folder. Perfect. Now we need to download the installable. So this is the installable. There you go. So we were able to download the installable, right? And then we have to extract the installable. So now we were able to extract the installables. As you can see here, we see a couple of shell script here, right? So what we have to do, we have to perform this command in order to configure the agent. Okay. So if you see here, we are going to perform this command, right? So let me go ahead and then execute this. So now it is asking, right? You want to accept the agreement and also we have to say yes. And then it is asking for the server URL. So that is actually nothing but our organization URL. So that is that. And then it is asking for how it is going to authenticate. So let's say PAT, or you can enter, that's mean personal access token. And then it is asking for the token. So this is where we have to create personal access token. So I have provided that step documented in the prerequisites. So you can also click on this particular link. This will show you how to create personal access token. So for that, we have to go to Azure DevOps dashboard and click on this user settings and click on personal access token and click on new token. So this is where we are going to create a new token. So let's give a token name. So I'm going to say my token. You can leave it like, when and all you want to expire. Okay. So let me say 30 days and then let's say custom define. All we have to do is scroll down and then we have to give access to, you can click on show all scopes. So we are going to click on this one, agent pools, read and manage. So that is the access what we have to give. and then click on create, and then this is going to create the token, right? So copy the token and then enter the token here. So now it is in the process of connecting to the server. There you go. And then it is asking for the agent pool. So if you remember, we created an agent pool, right? Let me go there. Let's go to where we created an agent. Go to my Ubuntu agents pool, and so we have to provide this agent pool, right? This is the one what we created, correct? So let's enter that, and then it is asking for the agent name. So you can just enter for this particular name. Let's enter. There you go. And then it is asking for the work folder name. You can enter. So it is going to use the default name. Perfect. So now our agent has been configured. So you can go here and then click on agents. So it is still showing offline, right? So that's fine because we have to start the service over there. So how do you do that? Again, I have provided all the steps over here. So we have to go ahead and then configure the agent as a service so that whenever you restart the VM, the service will be always available for you. So let's execute this particular shell script, and then of course you can also see that here as well, right? So I'm going to execute this one. So let me execute that as let me configure this as a service. So there you go. Now it is configured as a service, and then you can go ahead and run the service. So let me execute, and again you can see here. So now then I'm going to go ahead and then execute this shell script. So this will configure the agent. So this is going to bring up the agent. There you go. So now it says that connecting to the server, and it is waiting for the jobs. So now if I go back to the pool, there you go. You see here now our agent is configured, right? So this is how, guys, this is how you can configure agents. Now what is the next step? Now we can go ahead and then perform some build, isn't it? Perfect. So our agent is up and running. So what is the next step? We have to go ahead and then create a pipeline, and then we will run the build using this pipeline. Okay. So before we go there, I just wanted to talk about what are the steps to uninstall or remove agent from the pool. Okay. So you need to execute these two commands in order to perform any kind of a cleanup activity. Okay, let's say you want to remove the agent from the pool. So these are the commands. So you have to perform uninstall, and then you have to go ahead and then perform this command to remove the agent from the pool as well. Perfect. So what we are actually going to do, we are going to run some build using this agent. I do have a sample Java project configured in GitHub. So we are going to create a pipeline. Pipeline will check out code from this particular GitHub repository, and then it will perform a build using Maven. So for that we have to have Java and Maven installed on the build agent. So let's go ahead and then take care of that as well. So I don't think this has anything installed. So let's go ahead and then install Java on the build agent. But before that, let's just make sure whether this has Java installed. Yeah, it does not have Java installed. So let's go ahead and then install Java. So I'm going to go ahead and then install default JDK. So let's go ahead and then install Maven as well. Perfect. So we also install Maven. Perfect. There you go. Awesome. So now we can use this build agent in order to run any kind of Java builds. Okay. So now let's go ahead and then configure a pipeline in Azure DevOps. So I have provided instruction again in my website. So this is going to create a simple pipeline which would check out project from GitHub, and then it would just perform very basic build using Maven. It's very simple to do that. But if you want to learn how to perform slightly complex pipelines and all, feel free to refer my website. I have several examples in my website. Like for example, let me see if I can show you a few pipelines. Yeah, look at here. So I have a lot of good examples. Like if you want to create a pipeline to check out from GitHub, and then create a Docker image and then deploy into AKS. I have a lot of scenarios in my website. Okay, so you feel free to refer my website to learn, creating different type of pipelines. One for Docker image or Docker based application, or even normal web application as well. Perfect. So now let's go ahead and then create this simple pipeline. So let me go to the project dashboard and click on pipelines. So click on new pipeline, and our project is in GitHub. So if you see here, it is automatically coming here, but I have already set up service connection here. Let me see if I can quickly show you. Go to project settings and then service connections. So as you can see here, I have already configured, with the GitHub personal access token. Okay, so that's the reason why I was able to check out. Okay. All right. So let me go into pipelines. Create a new pipeline. GitHub. So this is the repo name. Let me copy the repo name, and then I can filter. Okay, enter the repo name. There you go. So that is a project name. So select it. So now it is actually showing several options, right? But I want to keep the pipeline very simple because we want to just learn how to run the build using that agent. So I'm going to go ahead with this option. So as you can see here, it is already creating the pipeline code here, right? So all we have to do is we have to mention the pool name. So let me remove this one. You can just mention the pool name. So that is going to be, let me open up another tab. So if we go to agent pool, so this is the pool name what we created, right? So you just have to mention that over here. That's it. And we don't have to worry about whether like which version to use. So we can actually delete this thing, and we need to provide where pom.xml resides. So in my repository I have this project. So this pom.xml file reside inside the my web app folder. So I have to provide like this, my web app / pom.xml file. So that's pretty much, and then this is the Maven goal. You can have clean install or package, that's totally fine. So that's it, right? That's it. Let's click on save and run. Save and run. So now agent is able to check out the code from GitHub. Now it started doing Maven build. Awesome, right? So the job has done. So this is our pipeline, right? So there you go, guys. We were able to perform the build, everything, using the agent. Okay. So this is for, like running the build using YAML file. But if you want to do it in a classic way, again, very similar, right? You can click on classic editor. You can select the repository. So this is our repository name, and continue. And let's select a template. So we want to just do this one, build and test a Java project. So click on that one. Okay. And yeah, so this is where we have to specify, right? So we are not using Microsoft hosted, we are using our own agent pool. So we have to select this one, my Ubuntu agents pool, and then let's select the path of pom.xml file. So that's it, right? That's pretty much over there. All right, and then save and queue. There you go. You see here the agent pool is that one. There you go. Fantastic. There you go, guys. So the build is completed, right? So yeah, so that is how, guys, that is how you can configure your Azure VM as a build agent, and then that is how you can run build using Azure DevOps pipeline. Thank you for watching this video, folks. Thank you.